Before I get started on this video, I want to take a moment and encourage you that afterwards, Google all this stuff because it's kind of horrifying, to be quite honest. A lot of court cases are televised, so you can see the video. And it's really terrifying. And what I'm talking about is people are spending some time in prison for murder because they defended themselves, used self-defense with a firearm, but the judge didn't like the particular ammo or caliber you used. And he or she are declaring that when you went out and you thought about it, you thought, well, what gun am I going to bring and what ammo am I going to put in it, that you consciously knew that you were going to destroy somebody if they threatened you or they threatened your life. I would argue that's kind of what we all do. It's kind of the purpose of self-defense. If I'm out with my family and somebody's trying to kill my family, I want to destroy them. But judges don't see it that way. And also, now before I get into the calibers and the type of ammo, I also want to say in the state of Missouri, if you ever find yourself in a situation like this, I don't know how it is in other states, and I definitely don't understand how it is in the federal courts, but I know in Missouri, in the state courts, and I believe this applies to the county courts too, that you can choose a different, you can't choose your judge, but you get one takeaway, if that makes sense. Like if you get assigned a judge, you can go, well, I want a different one, then they'll assign you a different one. And then that's it. And then you're stuck with what you got. So I always encourage you, if you're in these situations, research your judges that's going to be potentially trying you, because there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them that you can kind of say, well, that guy or girl, she is going to know, she's going to think that I'm guilty of something because I chose this particular caliber. And the caliber that's getting, well, there's a couple of them. The calibers that are getting the most hate is not the 9mm. Now I know politically the 9mm got a lot of hate. They blow a giant bowling ball size hole out of your back kind of thing. But out of 9mm, which is all false. So politically it got a lot of attention, but in the courts, no, it's a very common self-defense ammo. However, certain types of that, and we'll come back to that, of that ammo will get you. But the calibers they're after right now are 40 is the big one. 40 is a big one that a lot of judges are saying. I don't want to say a lot, but enough are saying that when you put on a 40, you knew that thing would cause more damage than something like a 9 or a 380 or a 22 or that sort of thing. And it's nonsense, even though the 9mm kills more people than any other caliber around, including the 22. It's past the 22, not the 40. And the other one is the 10mm. Both of those are very similar calibers. Really, the 40 is kind of a 10mm short. Honestly, a lot of people love the 10mm and hate the 40. As a side note, that always made me kind of scratch my head thinking, well, 40 is just a 10mm short. But nonetheless, the 10 and the 40 are getting a little bit of attention from judges saying that you purposely chose that. Now, I also want to add that most police departments around this country carry 40s. It's a very common police caliber for the same reason. So, I don't want to discourage you from using a 40 because I carry a 40 and I'm definitely going to continue to carry a 40. I just want you to be aware of this because as you find yourself in certain situations, just beware of what the future may hold if you find yourself in the court system. I also want to add, when it comes to the type of ammo, and I've made a lot of videos about this, but I just want to add it in here, that if you're using ammo that kind of promotes in the packaging total destruction, something like zombie killer, or the one that, don't put zombie killer in your defense gun. Just don't. That's going to get more judges. So you take the ones that already don't like 40s and you add thousands to that, and they're all going to say, you purposely chose that ammo to do the most destruction. So you knew it would destroy somebody. And again, I go back to, of course we did. That's why we choose it. But That zombie killer is made by Hornady, and you can get the exact same bullet in different packaging. So do that. If you really want that ammo, just don't make it look real obvious, if that makes sense. So this video is really just kind of your public service announcement for just be careful as you're going out there and you're choosing your sidearm. Kind of know what's going on in your county, in your state. What are the judges doing? Again, I encourage you to Google this stuff when you get done with this video, just to kind of see it for yourselves. I'm sure YouTube, you'll find it there too, but just see it for yourself. And then as you make concealed carry decisions, just know your community, I guess is kind of what I'm getting at. Certain communities, they'd encourage you to do this sort of thing. Certain communities, they would definitely discourage you to do this sort of thing. So just know your community, I guess is what I'm getting at. Know your local judges. Remember, you vote for them. I kind of want to add at the end here that what really surprises me is if I carry a .44 Magnum revolver, somehow that's okay because it's a revolver. Does this make sense to you? No, me neither. But it's really just, what does it look like to the judge? Just remember, a lot of people are very ignorant when it comes to firearms, especially those who hate on them. They're very ignorant. Just know your community. Know what's acceptable in your community, and just be cautious. Any thoughts or insight on any of that? Definitely put it below. Especially any insight you might have. What's your community like? How accepting, where are they in this sort of thing? Because again, I think it's down to what community do you live in. Put that below. I do want to take this moment and say most people watch the channel, hey, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. So please don't ever, ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.